خزيانة مخبرة مشاخن طاوة هاي لبرس خزوت آتوراي بتيول وانون شاروكينا هسو مقرون قاتو خناها خرزة ايشت ايتن خزيانة مخبر جو خرزن ادي بتعلن خات بقتا انا قيتا من خا آتورايا بلا برخاطة قيوة سانت اون شمة الى براندن ابيل بس بوشن امان قمت خداس ساطن برس خزوت آتوراي بتيول خزيانة مخبة هدي بشاقنا خم بدي اتفقت أنا نقيتها من أطرايا أخونا المخبة دي لبرخاطة قيوة ساندش من براندن أبيل
كشغال ميقرش لعملوخون خي خيتابي تاي خموخونا نيفن جوليانا تيمورازي وعلى برس خزبت أطراي تيبت كشغال ميقرش شيت تريل بتمنية أها شيتا إلى شيتت برشتت candidates قا بوليتيقاي جب بوليتيقاي بريشة election year أمي لخا ميقرا رابع عزيزة ميقرا براندن أبل أوندي لبليو سيرا بليو أمريكا برخاطة لغا ستيت سنت District 9 إلى خاي غارا رابع يورا غاتي قد قبل نقاتو بشنا. Hi Brendan, thank you so much for giving us your time. I know you're very busy.
Well, shalom aleichem. And yes, it's my pleasure to be here. No matter how busy I am, I'm always going to make time for talking to you and our Assyrian community.
Thank you. I want you to talk about your Assyrian side.
Well, my mom is Assyrian. She was born in Iran, in Urmia, which is in northern Iran, and in a little town called Auda. And she emigrated here in 1969, and on her way to the United States, she met my father, who was stationed in Germany during Vietnam, and they met there, fell in love, came to the United States in 1969, and were married in November. So they're getting ready almost to celebrate 40 years. This is 39 years. Yeah, it's great. And they're still together. It's me, my brother, and my sister. We're all still close together, even though my sister's out in New Zealand right now on a mission. But that's so I'm half Assyrian. My father is of Irish, German, and Lithuanian descent, and but I'm proud to be in the Assyrian community, and this is where I want to reach out to our people and let them know what we can do to help them in this campaign.
And we're happy to bring your message out to our people, and I have to thank your father for his service to this country.
Thank you. Thank you.
What is your mother's involvement in your campaign?
Oh, she's probably been my strongest supporter and hardest campaign worker, I got to tell you. She collected well over 1,000 signatures for our nominating petition on her own, and we had about 2,100 altogether. So she had about half of the total signatures, and since then she's just been a great campaigner, getting out to especially the Syrian community, but everywhere, talking to people, getting out yard signs and bumper stickers, and really doing a great job. So you'll see her. She won't look a lot like me because she's about 4'11" and I'm 6'1". So
I've met her. She's wonderful.
Yes. So most people find it hard to believe that we come from that she's my mother, and but yes, my father's my height, so that's where I get that from. But yeah, if you see her out on the campaign trail, she loves talking to people, and she's just a wonderful, wonderful campaign worker.
And you have 3 other ladies that support you strongly. Your
I
wife
do.
And your 2 little girls.
Absolutely.
Tell me about that.
I've been married 12 years as of 2 days ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I married my high school sweetheart. Her name is Doris. We were both in high school when we met. So we have been together for 16 years and married for 12. And we have 2 wonderful little girls. Madeline is 6 years old and Victoria is 3. And they're so fantastic. I couldn't do this without their support and their enthusiasm about the race, and it's just wonderful to have your family behind you when you're undertaking such a large adventure such as this.
And it truly is a large adventure, and there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes that the public does not see that. But I want to know your educational background, because I think that will add so much more to your credibility in this campaign.
Well, after high school, I went to Loyola University for my undergrad studies. I studied political science, which was my major, and I also have a minor in philosophy. And after Loyola, I went straight into DePaul Law School, still here in the city, and graduated from DePaul with honors and did very well there. And ever since then, that was in 2000, I've been working as an attorney, and I have founded my own firm in 2003, which I still have today.
What type of law do you practice?
I practice mostly about half real estate and half general civil litigation, helping out businesses and individuals with various matters from contracts and collection of bills and things like that. And then on the real estate side, I practice some commercial real estate, but mostly residential real estate, helping people with their homes. And through that work, I've actually discovered a lot of the problems that the state has with regard to property taxes especially.
So when I visited your website, I read this statement that kind of surprised me, but the more I got to know you, the more I want to preach for you and invite people to vote for you, because I do believe in what you believe in. In your website, which is brendanappel.com,
Correct.
you state Brendan is not a professional politician.
That's right.
Politicians are usually looked upon in a negative way. Tell me why are you standing up for the state of Illinois?
Well, I got into this because I looked around at the state of Illinois, and what I saw was a state that was in economic decline, that didn't look out for the taxpayers and businesses, and really was driving them away from the state. And in fact, the numbers have borne that out. About 700,000+ people have left the state of Illinois since Rod Blagojevich became governor. And because of that, we're going to lose a congressional seat. So I decided that, I was a family man. I've got a wonderful family. I've got a successful business. But I realized that the future for our children and for our state is very important. And nobody was standing up for the taxpayer, for the families, and for the businesses in this state, in this area. So I decided that I wanted to be a voice for those who didn't have a voice. We have, right now, the professional politicians are all looking out for themselves. They support the interests of the trial lawyers or the unions, and they really, every opportunity they have to stick it to the taxpayers and the businesses, they take it, and that hurts our economy. We have sunk now to 43rd in the nation in job growth. We are 24% over the national average for unemployment. Those numbers were just released yesterday. And when you put all of that together, it's no wonder that businesses don't want to locate here. And we have a huge lawsuit abuse problem in the state of Illinois. A recent study ranked us dead last out of all of the states of the country in legal liability climate. And this is driving away not only businesses, but also doctors and other professionals. So.
Well, before we move on, I'd like to categorize for our audience different commitments that you have. For example, let's talk about taxes. Just today, I was talking to my sister who lives out of town, and I said, here in Cook County, we have to pay 10.25% taxes. That does not include 6.5 motor fuel sales tax that most of us don't know about. Let's take property taxes, for example. Talk about that with me, and what is your stance, and why should our audience vote for you?
Property taxes in especially Cook County, but all throughout the state, but in this area in particular, they've gone through the roof. The clients that I have in my practice that I've seen have routinely seen their property taxes actually go up 30, 40, 50, 100% from one year to the next, and that's more of the rule than the exception. And it's especially hard-hitting now when home prices are declining, but property taxes keep going up. What my plan to help people with property taxes is very simple. I don't believe that your property taxes should go up any more than the cost of living rate went up for wages. In other words, this past year, the cost of living rate went up 2.3%. That's about how much more Americans earned this year than last year. That's the average. Why should your property taxes go up any higher than that? On average, you're not making any more than 2.3% than you were last year. If your property tax bill goes up 40, 50, 100%, how can we expect you to actually make that payment and keep your house? That's one of the reasons we have record foreclosures. It's not just the mortgages. The taxes are really driving people out of their homes. And I've seen it personally as a real estate lawyer, and I've heard from many people who have had the same experience. So I would cap actual property tax increases from year to year at no more than 3% or cost of living, whichever would be less. And in addition to that, we have a plan that we would put in place that would increase the senior exemptions, increase the homeowners exemptions, and really help people fight those high property taxes. It's really become a problem in Cook County where even the worst part is not only homeowners but also businesses. Businesses, when you increase their property taxes, that's the same as if you just levied an additional sales tax or an additional income tax on that business. That comes out of their pocket, and it has to come from somewhere. And we're really, oftentimes it ends up in fewer jobs because the business can't afford to continue to hire as many people as they might want because their property tax bill just went up 100%. so across the board, between landlords who are trying to provide, affordable housing for people who can't afford to buy a house, to businesses who are trying to provide products and services and with those jobs in the area, and families and homeowners who are just trying to get by on their family budgets, and they're seeing their budgets continue to decrease, income-wise, but their expenditures going up with higher gas prices, higher taxes, and now the nation's highest sales tax right here in Cook County.
You're running against
Jeff Schoenberg.
What is his stance? I want us to be very clear to our audience why they should vote for you. What is his stance, briefly?
The best way to know what Jeff Schoenberg stands for is to know that he was named a taxpayer enemy of Illinois by the nonpartisan Taxpayers United of Illinois on multiple occasions. He received a 0% rating from the from the Illinois Chamber of Commerce, followed up by a 20% rating, both dreadful. And so he's obviously not in favor of taxpayers, and he doesn't vote with businesses who create the jobs. He received, on the other hand, a 100% rating from the AFL-CIO. So he's very favored by the unions.
That's the union?
Yes, that's the major union in the country. And he received a 100% rating from the Illinois Trial Lawyers Association, which are the plaintiff lawyers. And time again, Jeff Schoenberg has voted against taxpayers, against families, and in favor of unions and trial lawyers who support his campaign overwhelmingly. And all you need to know is if you like higher taxes, if you like your property taxes being high, and if you want more corruption and gridlock in the state of Illinois, then vote for my opponent. If you want your taxes to be lower, if you want to get a hold of property taxes and start to bring those down, if you want more jobs in Illinois and greater economic prosperity for everyone in Illinois, then I'm the person that is going to bring that to you, and my opponent will oppose all of those points.
taxes aviraba samazod dene betfat qadariya adia پیشندویره یا نشو تعلقنا betfate اینا بود خاطر taxes لخشی بس mortgages شولان لتراب state of Illinois ان قتل قد يبيتون vote قده هم يقرأ سبب آون بلاشه ل قد taxes mostly لغاتو خون بشولان بارجو state of Illinois. Second part, you're talking about limited government. Briefly, talk about what does that mean? Do you think government is way too involved? Is government expanding? Briefly talk about that.
The founding principles of this country and what makes America America is the founding principles from 1776, and those are low taxes, limited government, and respect for individual freedom. So limited government is a key pillar. What government should be doing is providing us essential services, police and fire protection, roads, a safety net for those who fall in hard times, but all of the superfluous and corrupt things that the government does. They hand out government contracts to political donors, and currently that bill is still sitting on Governor Blagojevich's desk as he rakes in millions of dollars in campaign contributions, much of which comes from contractors who are doing business with the state. We've got waste and fraud all throughout the Illinois budget. It's documented year after year by many nonpartisan groups. And it's a problem in Illinois when the governor and an entire political party want to be all things to all people. That's not limited government. That's not what this country was founded upon. And we can't afford, and history has shown us, we clearly can't afford to do that. We can't afford to be the healthcare provider for everybody in this state. We can't afford to be the food provider for everybody in this state. We can't afford to do that. But that's what large government is seeking to do. It's seeking to be the parent of the collective children of the state. What we need is a return to those individual freedoms and individual rights and responsibilities. Let people be free to succeed, to achieve, get government out of their way, and let them be able to provide for themselves and have government take less of their money because it doesn't need to do all of the things that it's doing right now. Anytime government tries to get involved and solve a problem, they invariably end up making it worse, wasting our money, where private enterprise or private charities could do a much better job.
And that's what makes America beautiful. Those are the standards that America was founded on.
You're absolutely right.
I want to talk about malpractice insurance because we, as you all know, many doctors are escaping, OBGYN physicians, and other fields in the medical field, doctors are escaping Illinois because of malpractice insurance. What is your stance on it, and what do you have to offer our doctors?
I'll tell you a quick story. There's a good friend of ours who had 2 children. She got pregnant with her third. She went back to her doctor and said, "I'm pregnant." He said, "That's great. Go find a new doctor. I don't practice, obstetrics anymore." And the reason that he withdrew from that practice field is because the insurance was too high. And that is happening all throughout the state of Illinois. We are losing physicians, as you said, at a record pace. The only thing that will stop it is effective tort reform. And we've tried to pass that in Illinois, except every time we do, a activist judge strikes it down. And most recently it was struck down by Judge Larson on the Cook County Circuit Court. We need to reactivate that statute. If it needs to be a constitutional amendment, let's make it a constitutional amendment. Let's make it ironclad, because what happens when you have limits on those non-economic punitive damages is you see a boom in doctors coming to the state. A quick example is Texas. Texas enacted a very good tort reform statute. They had so many applications at the medical board that they couldn't even keep up with them. So many doctors were moving from states like Illinois down there because they could effectively practice medicine at a reasonable rate without having hundreds of thousands of dollars every year go to their malpractice insurance. So tort reform is number one. We need a loser pays rule for frivolous lawsuits. The next time somebody wants to sue their dry cleaners for $50 million for a lost pair of pants, they should be paying the other side's legal fees. We need to have common sense when it comes to litigation, and we don't. I'm an attorney, I practice litigation, and I can't tell you how many times I've seen frivolous lawsuits just go through the system. And no matter, even if the complaint is dismissed 7 or 8 times, the appellate court will tell the trial court, no, you got to let them try again. Every time one of those complaints gets dismissed, it's probably about $2,000 worth of legal fees. And it happens day in and day out all across this state. And it's a waste of resources. It's a waste of money for individuals, for businesses, for county governments that get sued, or city governments that get sued all the time for every little thing. It's a real problem. If we don't get a hold of this, like I said, we were ranked 50th out of 50 by a recent survey for lawsuit abuse. And until we get a hold of that, no sensible company will want to locate their business here, and they're going to keep those jobs out of Illinois.
Thank you for that answer. As we all know, our country is at war. What are your... Actually, I want to read an excerpt from an article written by Dr. Aryan Ishaya titled Assyrians in the History of Oromia, Iran. On the eve of World War I, the American missionaries risked their lives taking care of 15,000 who survived traumatized and starving refugees. The Assyrians would not have survived the Holocaust if it weren't for the Americans who risked their lives. That same thing, almost a decade later, or a century later, is resonating with our Assyrians today in Iraq. As you all know, as you know, a lot of us Assyrians are being massacred in Iraq. And today they're saying if America leaves Iraq, there's not going to be one Christian left. What is your thought on the America's presence there, and what are your thoughts on Christians of Iraq that are being killed today?
It's a definite tragedy whenever any Assyrian or anybody is killed in a genocidal way. But history has shown us, as that quote says, and so many times over, that if we pull out of an area where there has been genocide and there is threatened and active genocide going on, it's just going to get worse. The same thing happened in Cambodia when we left Vietnam, and the same thing will happen if we pull out precipitously in Iraq. The best thing for our country, for Assyrian people, is to have a stable, democratic Iraq, because democracies are the most, they're the best thing, the best protection that you can bring to an oppressed people. All of the genocides of recent history, Hitler, Mussolini, Stalin, those are all totalitarian regimes. Saddam Hussein. Those were all non-democracies, fascist, socialist, communist, and dictator. So we need to make sure that there is a stable Iraqi government that is a democratic government, that is a friend to the United States, is a stable force for democracy in the area, and will protect the rights of a minority like the Assyrian people. We need to do everything in our power to ensure that there is no more killing of Assyrians or anyone else in Iraq, that innocent blood shed is stopped, and the best way to do that is to ensure that there is a stable democracy there.
So you don't support an immediate pullout?
No. I think we need to finish the job, we need to win, and we need to leave a stable, self-sustaining, and self-preserving democracy in Iraq.
كشقنا ميقر بقري من ميقرا أبل قدمين تخمنيات وخبازد أمريكا قدادية لجوعراق بلطي جلدي لا بلطي مرلا جريشولا فرقيلة دخشوريونا سبب أن قيت لقخا جبا ديمقراطية بوليتيقاية آفيجو عراق قد أمسي ممطي هايريات غا كريستيان دي انتاما. As you know, there are a lot of people who are swing voters. They're not sure should they vote Democratic or Republicans, and a lot of politicians, as you see nowadays, are fighting for those votes.
Absolutely.
And I believe that Americans should be educated and think more critically about the decisions that they're making and not take everything for face value, whatever they hear on the radio or read in the newspaper. What is your suggestion how those viewers that are swing voters should be educated to vote correctly?
I urge everybody who's going to vote in this election to do some, at least a minimal amount of research, but hopefully a lot of research into the people that they're going to be voting for. And one of the best ways you can do that is, for example, you can go to my website at brendanappel.com. You can see everything that I stand for, and to understand where somebody's coming from and not just have an emotional reaction to a particular issue, but to really learn about the candidates' positions, learn what they stand for, because you want somebody who's going to stand on principles that are solid and reflect the views of the country, and you want somebody who's not going to, when they get to office, turn around and bow to special interests and forget about the voters that sent them there, like has happened with so many career politicians, especially my opponent. So for those swing voters, I urge you to consider that the state of Illinois is in rapid decline. Our unemployment is going through the roof. We have skyrocketing taxes and property taxes, sales taxes, gas taxes. Everywhere you look, there's no place in the country that needs more change than Illinois. And you cannot have change by sending back the same people over and over again. So if you like what's going on in Illinois, if you're happy with the problems that we have and you want more of that, then just vote for the same people that are in office right now, especially on the Democrat side of the aisle. But if you don't like what's going on, if you want to see a real change in Illinois, if you want to see jobs come back to Illinois, if you want to see people have more money in their pocket, more money for their families, less tax burdens to worry about, if you want to see a safer Illinois, a more prosperous Illinois, then you have to vote for somebody who's going to make that change. And it's not going to happen with the career politicians who are in there right now. And that's the basic, get educated and vote for a real change in Illinois, which is to not vote for the people who have created the problem.
قد قريمون خوشن على الويب سايت brendanappel.com قريمون قريمون بعض politicians قدادية برخاتنا كشي ترند بثمانية هماشا خزيتون ماني لمزيور taxes ماني لمبصور taxes ماني بوشولانة بد مبرق ده state ولا you say not only in the state but throughout the country. Why do you say that we need a Republican in the office, not a Democrat?
For Illinois, it's clear that the Democrats have had full control of this state for about 6 years now. And with that full control, they have driven us to almost dead last in every good economic category and almost first in every bad economic category. So statewide, we need a viable, functioning, thriving two-party system, and we need Republicans who are championing things like lower taxes, smaller government, and respect for individual freedoms to be representing the people in Illinois, not representing the unions, not representing the trial lawyers, but representing the people of their districts. That's
talking about districts. I don't mean to interrupt you, but tell our viewers, where is District 9?
The 9th State Senate District, which is different from the congressional districts, which overlaps with the 9 and 10 congressional districts. But the 9th State Senate District covers North Rogers Park from Toohey North along the lake.
Which we have a lot of Assyrians.
Yes, and we also cover all of Evanston, all of Wilmette, all of Winnetka, all of Kenilworth, all of Northfield, all of Gulf, most of Glenview, a little bit of Glencoe in the southern and eastern part of the village. Also, about the south, I would say 10 to 15% of Northbrook, and about half of Morton Grove and half of Skokie, the northern parts of those two towns. Mm-hmm. So it's a very large district, 250,000 residents, and these people are key when they go out to vote, that they make an informed decision and that they vote for a different direction for Illinois.
When is I assume that you're doing appearances?
Yes, we're very active.
We're getting closer to the election time. When is your next appearance?
Well, we are, depending on when this is going to air, but we have a few things coming up. We will be at Michael Yonin's event this Friday, I believe is the 25th. And after that, we have several other things scheduled. The best thing to do is to go on our website, and there's an online calendar there, and you'll be able to see what's coming up. We have a very unique event coming up, which is a private boat cruise during the Air and Water Show out on Lake Michigan. And so that's coming up August the 16th. And in between, I will be appearing at many locations, street fairs. We're doing the Glenview Art Sale this weekend, also the Evanston Street Sale. And we'll be, so if you're at a street fair or a farmer's market or something like that, you might see me there.
Great.
And all of our scheduled events will be on our website.
Great. And our viewers can donate for your cause on the website, brendanappel.com. I promise you, we will have Brendan again on the show. گشقان میقرب داویلن مدرت بقیت خینه من میقرب برندن پل سبب خشاوخ عن قتل رابا يطيتنا میقرب مانيله قد قطعت عويلو خون خد decision عويلو خون مرد يوترانا قاتو قد ديو خون قا state of Illinois. Thank you so much, Brendan, for your time.
أفيتون رابا بسيمة.
أفداتن بسيمة جانوخ گشقان میقرب أهي وخت بقتا أم میقرب برندن أبل brendanappel.com. زي خوشون زي مولا ويب سايتو أنا من مقرن تخون جوليانا تيمورازي وعلى برس خزبت أطراي بتيبل.
وهي في قناة خمدة فيديو خدتها من زمارا مخبة شعب لوندو.
شبرله جود باتا أخيالي بشار قاتا خل ميورا بي شكلي خارب بابا قم عيناتا
شبرله جود باتا
أخيالي بشار قاتا
خل ميورا بي شكلي
خارب بابا قم عيناتا سختا خطيرة تراخز مرم
Ashuri nostaleni, Kuduni Sharakini, Kudu Sharasu, Hora, Harren Leatreni, Kudu Sharali, Musara, Parkis, Dishmineni, Azia Barahora, Limbogia Masara, Rubia Patu Hora, Santa Hora, Zia Barahora, Limbogia Masara, Rubia Patu Hora, Santa Hora. وشدي توتا إذا تريد الصوتا كلنا قبلك لنوتا أدخلت بالخيوتا ما شاء الله شدي توتا إذا تريد الصوتا كلنا قبلك لنوتا أدخلت بالخيوتا كل شرس روح مرة خرر اللي عطيني كل شرم لي مصارة فرق سنتيش مناني أرزي يا بارا خورا لتبو باليوم الصورة وبيع لفات خورا سهل الدار خورا ينزي يا بارا خورا لتبو باليوم الصورة وبيع لفات خورا سهل الدار خورا
هدي بشاخد نخم بديس مرتقة شلو سندان برس خزوت أطراي بتيول خزيانة مخبة قمعت خلخوت تامد زها خرزة بين ما تخرن قد تأخون إن تلخون questions and comments بقارة قبلس خزوت عطراي بتيول ودنا الإيميل ينشوقون comments aawtv.com تاما ماسيتون هم زميتهم من staff اتبرس خزوت عطراي بتيول وخزيانة مخبة هلا خبتا خلخوت تامد زها خرزة وتبغ بيوخن شابت بيتايلة مني ومن عودة شلو برس خزوت عطراي بتيول أروان شاروكينا هسو بمعروان بوشم شينا وخيا أمتا عطراتا